Hello. We're going to walk you through the Gigya Comment connector example. We chose a category for data exchange framework with Sitecore. We use Sitecore 8.2 and the data exchange framework 1.3. To start it off, we have basically our Gigya Comment data template. This template has basically a subset of comment data that we felt was valuable to be in Sitecore's user-generated content. There's the identifier, which is just an ID, a stream ID, which is the ID from Sitecore, sender name, as in the first name of the individual, the comment they left, how many positive votes it's had, how many negative votes it's had, the total votes in total, the ratings overall, and that is about it for that. If I scroll up here, what the user does after this already has a prerequisite of installing the Data Exchange Framework 1.3, and you install our package from our install guide. Once everything is there, you would go to Gigya Comment Response inside the Gigya Comment Connector tenant and inside endpoints. Because we have sensitive key values in there, we'll just show you a screenshot and speak to it. Basically, it has a field for API key, and that's your Gigya API key. It has a secret key, which is your Gigya secret key. A domain, which in this case is us1.gigya.com. The category ID, which in our case is ratings4. The template ID, which is the template ID that you want to associate. And the root item ID, which is the root item in the content. The root item is basically the home item, but it could be anything underneath, including the recipes. And the template ID, again, is what my colleague Mitch will speak to in a minute, but in our case, it's recipes. So if I go back here, basically at this point, you would go down to pipeline batches. You'd click Gigya Comment Text from call to Gigya Comment Text Item Sync Pipeline Batch. And once you've selected that, you'll hit Run Pipeline Batch. It is currently about 11:05. I'll run. It prompts us that it ran. You hit OK. We'll scroll down. Requested at 11:05, ran at 11:05. 12 comments were added. 12 elements were iterated through. So to run up here, you'll see this is where our comments will get dumped according to our data. I refresh this tree. You have to have buckets turned on. It's now written them into buckets. You see here's the 12 that the items referenced. I'll click this 3 stars. It gives us our ID. It gives us the stream ID, which is this tree list field, which is actually pointed to a recipe detail template, which my colleague Mitchell will talk about. The sender had a wonderful name of ASD, and the comment they left was 3 stars, question mark. And there's currently no votes, and overall their rating was just a 3. Just to go to a little bit more of a valid comment that isn't by a user as ASD. Here's another one by a user named Brenda. She said it's delicious. You should try them. And gave it an overall rating of 4. I'll hand over the wheel to my colleague Mitch, who I believe will walk you through the content items.
Great, thank you, Dan. So as Dan was mentioning, once these comments are loaded into Sitecore, there's a custom data source that I'll show in just a couple of seconds, but it's going to associate them to the content items that that data source is on. So we'll just go ahead and take a look at this citrus salmon recipe. And what we can see is that there's a multi-list field that is using that custom data source, which is pulling in the comments underneath the bucket that was just shown. And pretty much what content authors can do is they can select any number of featured comments that they want to be displayed on the site. So if we come down and take a look at the recipe template, sure, we'll go ahead and save. We use a code data source that can be seen in the code package that is uploaded to Dropbox. So pretty much why we did this was we do use Gigya, and you have to be using Gigya to utilize this module. and we find it difficult for our moderators to show specific comments on the website. So we came up with this design so that content authors can showcase certain comments to certain items, be it recipes, products, or articles on the website. That's about it.
Thank you for your time.